This is a view of Santa Chiara taken from the Rocca Maggiore, the day we went up and we had a ritual up there. The Basilica of Santa Chiara stands on the site of the former San Giorgio parish church, which was administered by the canons of the Cathedral of San Rufino at the time of Francis and Clare. Next to it at that time was a hospital for the poor outside the city walls. When Clare died in 1253, her body was first placed in the crypt of the same church, San Giorgio. After her canonization in 1255, Pope Alexander negotiated with the canons to have the property become the place for the basilica that would be the focus for the pilgrims coming to Clare's tomb. By his decree in 1259, the few poor Clares staying with Clare's body and those who remained at San Damiano became united as one community with residence at the Proto Monastery built on the south side of the new basilica. In 1260, St. Bonaventure was present for the celebration of the completion of the basilica, at which time Clare's body was placed in a safe burial spot beneath the high altar. Clare's body was exhumed in 1850 and is maintained in a glass coffin beneath the main altar. Also in this place are other treasures from the early years of the Franciscan movement. Francis's breviary with an introduction probably written by Leo, and Francis and Clare's habits. This is the entrance where we went into the Proto Monastery, and Sister Magdalene and Sister Lucy are the two sisters in the picture. This is the steps leading in to the cloister where we go up to view the remains of our Holy Mother St. Clare and St. Agnes. We go through the cloister and up the stairs. And here we are into the room where our Holy Mother St. Clare's bones lies, and it's on the body is viewed by the public on the other side, but underneath her bones lie. But the pilgrim people don't see the bones that we're looking at now. And it was a very special time for us, and we prayed for all the poor Clares in the whole world and for each of the federations that we belong to, the English, the Irish and the Filipinos, and all poor Clares of the world. And this place of Santa Chiara symbolizes the end of one era and the beginning of another in the Franciscan story. With Clare's death and burial in 1253, the initial chapter of Francis's dream comes to an end. Clare was the last of those who internalized the original vision. With the building of the basilica and the transfer of her sisters to Santa Chiara, a new chapter began. It is the task of the current generation of Franciscans to take up the inspiration of Francis and Clare and make it come alive for our time. Santa Chiara symbolizes this part of the journey for us and calls us to enflesh it in our day. Here is St. Agnes's skull, and it's a silver casket that she lies just to the right of our Holy Mother St. Clare in a little alcove. We left there, and Sister Chiara Anastasia drew back the curtains so that the pilgrims could venerate the body. This is another view of the cloister. This is a little oratory that the sisters use for prayer. This is the choir, and it's half a circle in front of the altar. Here is the oldest sister in the house. She is 90 and going strong, busy making her rosary beads. This is the tabernacle at the front of the choir, and the panel behind opens and the altar faces the sisters. In this part of Santa Chiara hangs the original San Damiano crucifix. Christ's message to Francis was perhaps lived out most fully by Clare herself. The crucifix became one of Clare's chief rebuilding tools, as she gazed upon it each day, contemplated its mystery, and eventually became what she gazed upon. We have moved to the refectory now, and on the right hand side is the lectern where the sisters do the reading during meals. It's quite high up, as you can see, and they need the microphone because there are 39 sisters to hear the reading. This gives a view of how big the refectory is. Here is Sister Chiara Anastasia holding the voting box that has been in use for hundreds of years and still being used today, with the black and white beans for voting. This part of the house used to be a dormitory, an open dormitory, and you can see the division in the floor where the tiles are. There used to be curtains dividing each sister's part of the dormitory, but now to the right of the picture they have cells added on, so each sister has a cell or room. This is part of the cloister garden, where you can see part of the cloister at the other side. There are 4 cloisters round the garden. Here we are, except I'm not in the photo as I was the one taking the picture. Sister Margaret, Sister Chiara, Anastasia, Mother Angela, Sister Magdalene and Sister Lucy. This is the cloister garden. And this is the other half where the Lourdes Grotto is. We have now moved down a flight of stairs to the outside garden, and here is Sister Lucy smelling the beautiful perfumed roses. This photo gives you an idea of the length of the garden, and you can see the aloe vera plant growing just there to the left near the wall. Sister Chiara Anastasia told us that this plant has been used for a cure for cancer discovered by a friar. In this photo you can see the valley below, and on a clear day you can see Santa Maria degli Angeli from the garden. This statue goes back to the 1500s. It's very beautiful. Another view of the monastery from the lower part of the garden, just before we climbed the stairs. The garden is very beautiful, and there's always something new and interesting to see round every corner. Our visit to the Proto Monastery is almost at the end. Here we are saying goodbye to the sisters. I don't know the sister's name, but I remember that she comes from Milan. And she spoke to us there, and as we were going out, she said goodbye through the intercom. Another view of the monastery. As we take our leave of the sisters and look back and see the enclosure door, we go with great peace, and thank you to Sister Frances Teresa for arranging this visit for us. Something we will always remember. We take our leave of the Proto Monastery and Santa Chiara with great peace and joy in our hearts, with the thought of our Holy Mother's blessing, and bring it home to our sisters. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May he show his face to you and be merciful to you. May he turn his countenance to you, my sisters and daughters, and give peace to you and to all other who come and remain in your company, as well as to others now and in the future who have persevered in every other monastery of the poor ladies. And we bring this blessing home to you, our sisters.